About the flight itself, the thing I remember most is the view of planet Earth from a great distance. Tiny, very shiny, blue and white, bright, beautiful, serene, and fragile.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Manned Spacecraft Center. This is the Apollo 11 press conference. The format today will consist of a 45-minute presentation by the Apollo 11 crew, followed by question and answers. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Apollo 11 crew, astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin. Neil?
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade.
Mr. Armstrong, earlier there was some concern expressed that you were rushed to get in all your training necessary for this flight. What is the state of your training readiness now?
The reason that was a concern is that the final training for a crew is the last thing that takes place. In other words, the procedures must be developed and the simulations completely set up and the simulators ready to fly and the checklists made and so on before the final training can take place. And these, of course, were the pacing items, these intermediate things to the final training. At this point in time, we have a high confidence level that the procedures and checklists, simulations that we are now operating are correct and will fly the mission the way they are now detailed. So, of course, there was a good deal of concern in our own minds and many other people in the organization that all these things for the descent, ascent, surface work would fall into place in time. We do feel at this point that we've been very fortunate in having those things make the schedule along with the hardware, which of course is on the pad now, ready to fly.
Well, every launch day is a time of excitement, enthusiasm, and apprehension. But I think in most circumstances, you always feel that the chances of actually lifting off are fairly distant or remote. And so you have to temper your enthusiasm with the realization that, in fact, you may be coming back in and trying to go another day.
I agree with Neil. It seemed to me that that time I was most interested in just getting that thing off. Above all, I did not want to recycle, to have to empty out those gigantic fuel tanks and try again a different day. I just desperately wanted to go on the the 16th of July.
I think the momentous, most memorable thing that I can recall about that particular day was the opportunity while my two friends here were being put into the spacecraft to stand alone by myself out there and look at the rocket and the quietness and see the sun come up and the waves rolling in and the evidence of the millions of people watching, but nothing specific and just so quiet. And to realize that indeed such a contrast was going to take place, all the frantic activity of preparing the rocket, but it was so quiet up there for me personally, and that in a very few moments we were going to be departing in a great roar and off for a momentous event.
The vehicle starting to pressurize as far as the propellant tanks are concerned, and all is still go as we monitor our status for it. Firing command coming in now. We're on an automatic sequence as the master computer supervises hundreds of events occurring over these last few minutes. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11.
Minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are confirmed to go for orbit. Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go for TLI, over.
Apollo 11, thank you.
Roger out.
Ignition.
We confirm ignition and the thrust is go.
Going velocity 35,570 feet per second.
altitude 177 nautical miles.
Houston, Apollo 11 entered and gave us a magnificent ride.
Roger, 11. We'll pass that on, and it certainly looks like you're well on your way now.
11, Houston, the definition is pretty good on our monitor here. The color's not too varsity, at least on this set. Could you describe what you're looking at, over?
Roger, you're seeing Earth as we see it at our left-hand window. It's a little more than a half Earth. We're looking at the eastern Pacific Ocean. In the north half of the top half of the screen, we can see North America, Alaska, United States, Canada, Mexico, and Central America. South America becomes invisible just off beyond the terminator or inside the shadow. You can see the oceans with a definite blue cast. See white bands of major cloud formations across the Earth.
11, Houston, if you could comply, we'd like to see some smiling faces up there. If you could give us some interior views, I'm sure everybody'd like to see you, over. Now we're coming in. Can't quite make out who that had. That's Big Mike Collins there.
Well, you got a little bit of... Yeah, hello there, sport friends. You got a little bit of me plus Neil in the center couch, and Buzz is doing the camera work this time.
Roger, it's a little dark now, 11. Maybe a bigger head stop might help. It's getting a lot better now, 11. Mike, you coming in bye-bye. I got a good...
Well, I put on a coat and tie if I know about this ahead of time.
Is Buzz holding your cue cards for you, over?
We are very comfortable up here, though. We do have a happy home. There's plenty of room for the three of us, and I think we're all learning to find our favorite little corner to sit in. The 0G is very comfortable, but after a while you get to the point where you sort of get tired of rattling around and banging off the ceiling and the floor and the side, so you tend to find a little corner somewhere and put your knees up or something like that to wedge yourself in, and that seems more at home. I think I've been doing a good job of watching this, John. I appreciate it.
Spacecraft's been beautiful, 11. We had really no complaints at all. Things are really great. Hey, that's a great shot right there. We see you in there. Guess that's Neil and Mike. Better be, anyway.
I don't know if it's a vibration or what it is, but it makes the pitch and yaw rate needles on the FTAI number 1 jump up now. When we jump up now.
All right. Goldstone and City, see you running there, Mike.
Okay. That's what he's running through.
Houston, that's a real good view. We have the AOT. You're back now, Buzz, and notice you're taking down one of the window shades, over. Eagle, Houston, we read you now. You're a go for PDI, over.
Roger, understand. Lights on. One, zero. Ignition 10%.
That's 20 seconds, everything looking good. We show altitude about 47,000 feet. Good radar data, altitude now 33,500 feet. We're still go, altitude 27,000 feet.
Same alarm, and it appears to come up when we have a 1668 up.
Roger, copy. Eagle, Houston, we'll monitor your Delta
Sound
8.
beautiful.
Delta 8
It looks good now.
Roger, Delta 8 is looking good to us.
Throttle on time.
Roger, copy,
They
throttle
want to
down.
throttle down. Set them in the simulator.
Roger.
Eggs and things look real close.
Altitude now 21,000 feet, still looking very good. Velocity down now to 1,200 feet per second.
You're looking great to us, Eagle.
Okay, I'm still on flu, so we may tend to lose as we gradually pitch over. Let me try auto again now, see what happens.
Roger.
Okay, looks like it's holding.
Roger, we got good data. We're go, same type, we're go.
2,000 feet, 2,000 feet, into the ag, 47 degrees.
Roger.
47 degrees.
Eagle looking great, you're go.
Altitude 1,600. 1,400 feet, still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.
35 degrees. 35 degrees, 750, coming down to 23. 700 feet, 21 down, 33 degrees. 100 feet down at 19. 540 feet down at 30, down at 15. And 400 feet down at 9. Gate forward. 150 feet down at 4. 36.5 down. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. 5%. How many bite? Okay, 75 feet. Car's looking good, down a half. 6 forward.
60 seconds.
Lights on. 6. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. Good. 40 feet down 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. Ready? Down a half.
30 seconds.
Forward. Good. Okay. Contact light.
Okay, engine stop. ATA at a descent. Post control both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Roger, TV circuit breakers in. Base 5 clear.
Roger. And we're getting a picture on the TV.
You got a good picture, huh?
There's a great deal of contrast in it, and currently it's upside down on our monitor, but we can make out a fair amount of detail.
Okay, would you verify the position, the opening I ought to have on the camera?
Stand by. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming. Okay, I just checked, getting back up to that first step. It hasn't collapsed too far, but it's adequate to get back up.
Roger, we copy.
It's a pretty good little jump. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Okay, I'm on the top step and I can look down over the RCU and landing gear pad. It's a very simple matter to hop down from one step to the next. Yes, I found it to be very comfortable, and walking is also very comfortable. Beautiful view. Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here. Magnificent desolation. For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LEM. There's two hemispheres, one showing each of the two hemispheres of Earth. Underneath it says, "Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, AD. It came in peace for all mankind." It has the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States.
Neil and Buzz, the President of the United States is in his office now and would like to say a few words to you. Over.
Would be an honor.
Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you... For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join with Americans in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world. And as you talk to us from the sea of tranquility, it inspires us to redouble our efforts to bring peace and tranquility to Earth. For one priceless moment in the whole history of man, all the people on this earth are truly one. One in their pride in what you have done, and one in our prayers that you will return safely to Earth.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States, but and of peace of all nations, and with interest and a curiosity and with a vision for the future. Honor for us to be able to participate here today.
And thank you very much, and I look forward, all of us look forward to seeing you on the Hornet on Thursday.
Look forward to that very much, sir.
Tranquility Base, Houston.
Roger, go ahead.
Roger, our guidance recommendation is pings, and you're cleared for takeoff.
Roger, understand. We're number one on the runway.
Roger.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5. Work stage, engine arm SN. Proceed. Beautiful. 26, 36 feet per second up. 5 for the pitch over. Very smooth. Balance comes off. Very quiet ride. There's that much crater down there.
Feet high, 80 feet per second vertical rise. Eagle Houston, request manual start override. Roger. 2,600 feet altitude.
I'm not going to do a thing, Mike. I'm just letting her hold an attitude hold. Okay. Hello, Apollo 11, Houston, how did it go, over? Let's open up the LRL doors, Charlie. Roger, we got you coming home. It's well stocked. This is the commander of Apollo 11. 100 years ago, Jules Verne wrote a book about a voyage to the moon. His spaceship, Columbia, took off from Florida, landed in the Pacific Ocean after completing a trip to the moon. It seems appropriate to us to share with you some of the reflections of the crew as the modern-day Columbia completes its rendezvous with the planet Earth in the same Pacific Ocean tomorrow. Here's Mike Collins. Roger, this trip of ours to the moon may have looked to you simple or easy. I'd like to assure you that that has not been the case. We've come to the conclusion that this has been far more than 3 men on a voyage to the moon. More still than the efforts of a government and industry team. More even than the efforts of one nation. Responsibility for this flight lies first with history, with the giants of science who have preceded this effort. Next to the American people, who have, through their will, indicated their desire. Next to 4 administrations and their Congresses for implementing that will. And then to the agency and industry team that built our spacecraft. The parachute up above my head must work perfectly tomorrow or we will plummet into the ocean. We have always had confidence that all this equipment will work and work properly, and we continue to have confidence that it will do so for the remainder of the flight. We've been particularly pleased with the emblem of our flight, depicting the U.S. Eagle, bringing the universal symbol of peace from the Earth, from the planet Earth, the moon, that symbol being the olive branch. With our overall crew choice to deposit a replica of this symbol on the moon. This operation is somewhat like the periscope of a submarine. All you see is the 3 of us, but beneath the surface are thousands and thousands of others. To all those, I would like to say thank you very much. I'd like to give a special thanks to all those Americans who built those spacecraft. Did the construction, design, the test, and put their heart, all their abilities into those craft. To those people, tonight we give a special thank you. And to all the other people that are listening and watching tonight, God bless you. Good night from Apollo 11.
Velocity 33,000 feet per second. 35,000 feet per second now. 36,000 feet per second. We're at entry time. There's blackout.
Araya 3 reported a visual contact. The Hornet now reports a visual contact from the recovery ship.
Apollo 11, this is Hornet, over. Apollo 11, this is Apollo 11, reading the light clear. Our position 1330, 6915. 11 Hornet copy, 1330-1675. Any further data, over? 1330-16915. 11 Hornet, what's this flag down here, over? Our altitude longitude, 1330-16915.
You're now national heroes, and you've had a couple of weeks in isolation in the LRL to think about that. What are your initial feelings about being heroes? How do you believe it will change your lives? And do you think that maybe you'll get another chance to go to the moon, or are you going to be too busy being heroes?
Probably get an answer to that question. I might have to spend as long preparing as we had to prepare for Apollo 11. In the lunar receiving laboratory, we did have very little time for meditation, it turns out. We were quite busy throughout the time period with the same sorts of things that the crews of past flights have done after their flights. The debriefing schedules and writing the pilot reports and getting all the facts down for use of all the people who will include that in future flights.
And many other people in many places have speculated on the meaning of this first landing on another body in space. Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
You want to try that? After you. Well, I believe that what this country set out to do was something that was going to be done sooner or later, whether we set a specific goal or not. I believe that from the early space flights, we demonstrated a potential to carry out this type of a mission. And again, it was a question of time until this would be accomplished.
Well, to me, there are near and far-term aspects to it. On the near term, I think it's a technical triumph for this country to have said what it was going to do a number of years ago, and then, by golly, do it, just like we said we were going to do it. Not just perhaps purely technical, but also a triumph for the nation's overall determination, will, economy, attention to detail, and 1,001 other factors that went into it.
I just see it as a beginning, not just this flight, but in this program, which has really been a very short piece of human history. An instant in history, the entire program. It's a beginning of
a new age.